Here we are, guys, onto a live match again, on our way to White Springs Fishery for the On the Flyer TV Winter Classic qualifier. Been a while since I've done a live match, to be honest, so hopefully the weather will stay half tidy and we can film the match nice and tidy. But it's going to be a bit of a tough one today, I think. It's a lot of cold water got in the last sort of like day or two, so I don't know how that's going to affect the fishing. White Springs, as most of you would know, is phenomenal fishing, especially for silverfish. Do you mean weights of sort of 40 to 60 pound are quite common, but the last sort of couple of qualifiers has been down here. It's been quite hard and it's been quite low weights, so we'll get down here now. We'll hopefully draw a good peg and see if those fish are feeding. But there's two qualifiers today, one off a match lake, one off a pleasure lake, so just got to win your lake to qualify. So hopefully we'll have a nice little draw and qualify and catch a few fish. That's the plan. Let's see if we can do it. Here we are, guys, the peg 17 on the pleasure lake. To be honest with you, it's a good peg, but I really fancy being on a match lake today. But we'll give it a go and we'll see how it's getting on. Whoop. We're in, mate. That's it, mate. So I'm just feeding all my lines here at the start. One at just under my 13 metre section to my left, one at 14 metres straight in front of me, and a 6 metre line then to throw some casters over. I fed all lines with a little bit of sloppy ground bait with some worms in, because I really felt that it was going to be a big weight day today. I felt like it's been mild all week, and I really felt like I'm going to need sort of 40-50 pound to qualify. So decided to be really positive, feed all my lines with worms, throw casters short, and hopefully catch those all important bonus skimmers that I need to really win the lake and qualify today. So just decided to start short with a little piece of worm on the hook, just to see if I can catch a quick bonus fish. There are some big perch in this lake, and ide and chub that will be straight on the bait. So I just wanted to have a quick look short, see if there was any bonus fish there, and then I can start going on my longer lines that I feel are probably going to be my best chance of catching skimmers. But quick look short, and it wasn't very good, to be honest. A couple of minutes, I'd probably give it sort of 10 to 15 minutes, and never had a bite. So I was soon off this onto my longer lines. So as you can see here, I started off on my shorter of the two longer lines, but after about 15 minutes or so, there was no bites, so I decided I was going to pop out long and have a look out there. So as you can see now, we're going to nip out onto the 14 metre line. Spent the best part of 15 to 20 minutes now on that shorter 13 metre line, and just nothing's happened. You know, we're 40 minutes into the match and I've had one little indication, but it's not really happening. So hopefully this 14.5 metre line will kick off soon, because as it stands, there's not a lot happening. So this is my first bite here, but unfortunately for me, first bite turned into to be a carp. So played him in thinking it was a skimmer. It was just bumping away, but then as soon as I got it sort of halfway back, it started to take off, and my 08 hook length just give in. So not a great start. and I've been waiting 45 minutes for that bite, so it's not a brilliant way to start the match, to be honest. I've had one bite, one carp. Yeah, yeah. Danny got so many fish there that fucking they're pulling his rig off. Danny's got that many fish here, Mark. They're coming out of the water and tying a rig. There's not loads happening, Rob, is there? Oh. Yeah. So after that eye day on the hour mark, the next sort of hour was absolutely dreadful. I tried all my lines, tried being patient on lines, and just could not get a bite anyway. But it was the same for a lot of people on the lake. The people all on my side were struggling. Rob Jones on the next peg, I mean to my left, probably had about four or five skimmers. And then there was 2 or 3 people on the other side, Danny Baker and Aaron Woodall. Both of them had probably, Aaron probably had £10 and Danny probably had about £15 at this stage. But it was really hard going the rest of the lake. So you could see quite a few fish in the middle sort of topping. So I was thinking about getting a waggler out. So I got off my box and decided to have a setup and see if I could make something happen. So I got up off my box, went back to the van, got a waggler rod out and thought, right, I'm going to set a waggler up and try and catch these fish that are rolling in the middle. But I never set it up at the start, which I thought might have been a mistake. But as the lake was fishing so hard, and to be honest with you, there wasn't a lot being caught, I thought, well, I might as well chance it and see if I can make something happen. So set the waggler up, had a quick plumb up. It was roughly the same depth as the pole line. Fed a little bit of corn out there, put a piece of corn on the hook. But to be honest with you, give it sort of like 10 minutes and I missed the bite quite early on and then I hooked the carp. So it was quite sort of clear that I don't think it was skimmers that were rolling out there. I think it was carp, because the bloke next to me, Mark Jones, from Tredegar Angling, he also chucked the waggler, same time as me, and he caught a couple of carp as well. So it wasn't to be what I thought might have dug me out of the doo-doo, as you're going to say, dug me out of the shit. Didn't. It just sort of confounded the fact that there was too many carp in the middle of the lake. So as it was, we were sort of over halfway through the match, and to be honest with you, I was back to square one.
and I didn't really have a clue what I was going to do next. Danny was still catching on the far side. He probably had about £20 at this point, and there was a few others that sort of had about £15, 10 to £15, and I was sat back with just 2 skimmers and an hide and a few little tiny roach. So really needed to make a move really and get something sorted.
Danny Baker, Champiano. Done it, man. You done it, you won it. Well done, Danny boy.
So after winding Danny up a little bit and a little bit longer on a waggler, I decided it was not going to happen. And I thought, well, I got 2 hours left of the match. The only chance I got is to have a real good run late in the match, either on my long lines or my short lines. So I decided to feed some ground bait, some sloppy worms and some casters at 16 metres, just past my original line. Also fed my 13-metre line again, hoping for a good run. And then I settled into fishing casters on a top 4. Now, I've been throwing casters on a top 5 since the start. And I was getting an odd roach bite out there, but it was just seemed too slow fishing a top 5 and taking a top kit off. So I started throwing them at a top 4 where I didn't have to break down and I could just swing them straight in. So started doing this, started catching little dumpy roach, quite regular. And I thought to myself, well, at least I'm putting some fish in the net. If I could catch sort of £6 or £7 in the next hour and then have a real good run, either long or on that top 5 line, and maybe I could get somewhere near. But to be honest, I wasn't too optimistic. You know, it's fishing really hard. I could see by everyone around me that no one was really catching. But as I was fishing this top 4 line, you know, as I said, I was catching little dumpy roach quite regular. And then, to be honest with you, I caught a great big hide, and it must have been £1.5, £2. And I thought to myself, you know, this could be the start of it. This could be.
Ah? Well done, Danny boy. I think you've done enough, boy.
So after those 2 quick fish, long, it was clear that there was just not enough fish there. Had 2 really good skimmers quite quickly on that 60-metre line, but it faded very, very quickly, and the people around me still wasn't catching. So made the decision to drop in short. There was only sort of 35 minutes left of the match, so I've been feeding casters short sort of all day really, and I've caught the bulk of my fish short on those casters, either shallow or on the deck. So
Don't know where the fuck he gets that from.
after I caught this skimmer, I thought, well, I'm just going to spend the last 35 minutes short. I didn't think, I was thinking going to be able to have a chance of winning the lake, because Danny caught steady all day and he's had a big perch. So I think the match has sort of gone away from me at this point. So I was just hoping to catch a few fish short and maybe nick that section money. But, you know, we dropped in short, and to be honest, it was quite good short. Dropped in and caught a skimmer really, really quickly on the bottom, the casters. And they're a slightly bigger stamp. So, but a really nice run short over that caster line. And then right at the depth, I did catch one shallow on casters as well. They were all better stamp skimmers, so it did bump my weight up quite a bit.
Look at that, I got an eel. On a caster rod. Yeah. Told you that he's a big eye there. Seen a swirl, went out shallow and caught a fucking big eye. Oh no, it's a big skimmer.
So that was it. One last fish, real good fish, about 2.5 pound, to finish the day on, and that was it. We called all out, and it was game over. And I knew deep down that I haven't done enough.
So we're just back from the Winter Classic qualifier. Just put all my gear away because it's absolutely tipped it down at the end and just got drenched. So I just put it all away before I do a little bit of a conclusion of my match. Basically, you know, I drew a half tidy peg. It was probably in my top 3 or 4 picks on the lake. Felt like it was going to fish really well. You know, it's been mild all week. Felt like it was going to be a big weight. You know, it felt like it was going to be 40 pound plus. I sort of fed my match like that. Do you mean I fed worms on all my lines, thinking that was going to be the way to go? Probably wasn't, looking back. You know, fed all my lines with worms, and although I caught a few big skimmers over it, I feel like I missed a bit of a trick at the start. I think if I had gone out sort of long, just tapping some micros and fishing expander, fishing like negative, like ultra negative, I feel like I could have caught probably sort of 10 pound in the first hour and a half, first part of the match, and you know, it just didn't happen for me. I threw casters short. I fed 2 long lines with worms. I've hooked and lost one on my shorter long line, which is the only bite I had on it all day. I caught a few at 14.5 metres, hooked the carp first drop, had 2 skimmers and an eyed over it. Caught a couple more then at 16 metres when I pushed further out. It felt like I needed to sort of chase the match a little bit. And to be honest with you, until halfway through, I give my head a bit of a wobble and thought to myself, what are you doing? Like, you know, you're losing, you're just going up your own arse, you're just like sort of going away. Started fishing casters shallow, just catching like small roach, then I caught some dumpy roach. Then I caught two great big eyed, sort of £1.5, 2 pounders, and I did have some nice skimmers there in the end, but it's just all a little bit too late. Do you mean? I've ended the match with £23 1 ounces, second on the lake, and only the winner of the lake qualifies, so just missed out. And yeah, Danny Baker's won the lake with £31, so I wasn't a million miles away, but I felt like if I had started my match better, made a few better decisions throughout the match, probably could have pushed him a little bit. But you know, that's sort of fishing at the end of the day. I'm big enough and ugly enough to know that I made a few mistakes, and you know, hopefully I'll learn from it next time. But yeah, good luck to Danny Baker in the final. Great friend of mine and a brilliant angler, so he'll go to the final. Chris Wells have won the match lake, so he's in the final as well. And yeah, I've ended up second on the lake. I've won my mini section. I've ended up third overall out of the whole match. So it's not a disaster of a day, but felt like I could have qualified, and that's what you're there to do. So I think I've let one slip there, but we'll go again, and hopefully next time we'll be qualifying and winning our match. So till next time.